Hello and welcome to this week's damp show. What I'm going to show you today is a brilliant piece of kit. It's from FlIR and it's the X series powerful infrared camera, thermal imaging camera, and this is it. Comes in this packaging. And we've got this hard shell cover. So what I'll tell you is one of the reasons why I decided to purchase this piece of kit. So for years I've used the FlIR One attachment, what goes onto that camera. So it goes onto iPhone. And I bought one a few years ago, and I've never really been enamored with their picture. So even though when we took thermal image pictures in customers' houses, you could see where the cold spots were. So if we took a picture of this wall and say the guttering were leaking outside, it were a solid wall, you'd see that in a blue shade or a blue shade. But the actual images, so the furniture and everything, didn't stand out as much. You could make out it was that part of the room, and what we'd have to do is we'd have to put a picture of that area. And then obviously it used to do a second picture, which you could kind of scroll up and then we do a screenshot of that. So we'd put that on as well. And it never really looked brilliant. So it did its job. We could find cold spots and things like that, but it never looked that good. And I kept seeing images from other surveyors. Nigel Fairclough put one on other week, but I've seen images of his before, and the furniture and everything were clear. So I sent him a message and I said, "What camera are you using?" And he sent one back saying, "This, the E6." Well, he just said it's a FlIR camera E6, and when I had a look online, this version is the E6-xt. So I had a look how much there were. I didn't realise that there's an E8 that you can buy. So I might have got that if I'd have done a bit more research. But I saw this camera, and it was sold as new, even though the box had been opened, by a company. And I'm going to do a second video about it because I want this to be about this camera and not about how I ended up buying it. But there were issues with buying it. I bought it in good faith, and the company that I bought it off missold it, and I can't be asked to send it back. So that's what I'm like. So because I've used it, so I might mention bits about it later on, but I want this to be about this camera, like I said. So, reason why we've got it, we're in condensation season. When we go and look at jobs, or when we're going to look at do surveys, and it's a condensation and damp survey, where people have got issues with black mold, condensation, decoration spoil, things like that, then these are ideal. So this is how the box looks when it's open, and you get this box here with some paperwork in, and usually it comes with that, which is a plug, and it's got an adapter that plugs into top of this unit, into the top of this, and once it's in, it will charge a battery that's in there. Now, I said I weren't going to go on about issues with this, but like I say, it was sold as new. When it come, I didn't know what exactly was supposed to be in it, but on this, it tells you exactly what's supposed to be in box. And there should have been an extra battery and an extra battery charger, as well as an extra warranty card in there. And lo and behold, it had not got it. So when I contacted the company that sold me it, they said on advert, which I've took screenshots of actually, on the advert, it tells you what you were getting in box, but it sold it as new. So I assumed it were brand new, even though the box had been opened, you know. And it turns out that it's not brand new, it's been used, because when I turned this on, when I turned my camera on, so you've got these buttons here, and then you've got a little button here, that turns your camera on. And then once it's on, you can go through all the settings. It calibrates itself when you turn it on, and then you can go through settings, which there's a quick start. I'm trying to think what they call them, like one of them blocks, what you take a photo of. So you take a photo of that, click on it, and then instruction manual comes up. So you save that to your notes. When I went on to photos, so for your library, you click on that there, that button here, and then all your photos come up like that. So them photos that's on there were not ones that I've took. So it has been used, and I've already sent them a message. They look like people in an office, and when you click on that, and then so you click on photo, then you click again, and there's in the middle there's a button that says information, and it tells you when photo was took. And this was took on 3rd of the 10th, 2023, and we're in 2025 now. So yeah, they did say what year it was, but they said it was new, brand new. Obviously, it's not. So obviously, I've been missold it. And listen, I got it for cheaper than what a brand new one would have been. So this is argument. So I've emailed them, see if there's out that they'll do about it. They offered to knock me 50 quid off to start with, and I said it's not 50 quid I want. I said it's a new spare battery and charger and maybe warranty card. So I'm waiting to hear back from them, and they've ignored me, 2 of my emails. I've not had a reply, so I'll have to see what we're going to do. So I'll just take you through this then and just show you. So you get all that in box. It's a really sturdy box. I'm really liking it. Take it on site. So you get this. Don't make the mistake that I made when I first started getting it and messing about with it. So on front here, you've got like a cover. So this button here, this is the toggle button. That's your back button with a little arrow on. So if you want to go, you've gone into a program, you want to go back, just click that and it goes back. Click it again. And then, so for first hour, I was going through all instructions and everything and getting to know it using this toggle here, because this is what you press first. And when you press it, you get like a set of blocks on bottom. So obviously you've got settings, which is like a universal symbol, and then you've got measurement, which is middle one. You've got images and nodes, which is next to settings, and then you've got color, which is your palette, and then end one is temperature and scale. So there's loads of things you can do with this. So I'm going through this palette. So when you click measurement on, which is your middle one, you get a thing which has got a red, like a kind of like a starburst on, and then a blue one. And that's for, you can set a temperature and then you point it towards wall. And if you've got it on warm spot, which is red, any temperature above your set temperature, the one that you've put in, it'll show up on that picture. If you stick it on blue, any temperature below the temperature that you've put in, it'll show up blue. So that's a really handy setting to have. And then on end, you've got so you can have no measurement on it, or you can go on to end and you can have it as a center spot, so you'll have your readings on center spot. So that's a good thing to have to start with. So then we'll go back. So like I said, for an hour I was messing about with these measurements, and I'm thinking, I'm pointing it at stuff like that, and note what's happening. We've just got this orange screen, and I think you've already guessed it. So yeah, so you've got like a shutter cover on bottom here. So I'm ready for emailing them and telling them that it weren't working. But when you take shutter cover off, it's this is what you get. So you get this image. And as you can see, it's a really clear image. So when we take a photo, you've got like obviously it's like a speed gun. So you've got like a trigger here. So you press that and that takes your photo. So take a photo of this wall here. You click it. I don't know if you can see that actually. So you click it and then it shutter closes, and then you get your picture, which goes into your library, which you can access off here, your library. It'll store up to 500 photos, but what you need to link it to is on your phone, you need to download an app called FlIR Tools. Once you download FlIR Tools, I was doing this yesterday, you can then link this, your unit, your camera, to your phone. So you can match them up either by Wi-Fi or like a Bluetooth thing. So I've matched it up and then it syncs everything. And then you can download the photos. So when you click into photos then, like that, then you can upload them onto your library. So once they're uploaded onto your library, then you can upload them into your report. But also in Tools, there's also a little template that you can put your logo on and everything, and you can write a report inside your Tools if you wanted to. If you just wanted to do a report just based on these photos. But what we do is we'll put them in a survey report that's, because we've looked at alt property, so then them photos can go in wherever you want it. So ours will normally go in, well, we took photos of this room, there'll be normal photo, and then there'll be thermal image photos, and then comments on it. So it's a brilliant app. Now, the other, the FlIR one that we had, I've got a FlIR one app, and you can mess about with stuff off there, and you can also alter settings on it as well from your FlIR Tools if you want. But on the FlIR One app, you can also do stuff off there. But only thing that we couldn't do, which I was surprised about, I think was the measurement. So on here, there's a measurement tool. So when you go into settings, you can flick through to this measurement tool. Sorry, not measurement, distance. So to get the correct picture, you click onto distance, and then there's a different meterage. So it goes from 1 meter, and I ain't been up past 10. So it might be 10 meters or 20 meters, but it's like a wheel. So you can click down, scroll down, and then say if I'm taking a photo here, I'm looking and it's around about 4 meters. So I just change it to 4 meters, take my photo, and it's either scrolled in or out or moved in or out, and then you get like a better photo. So that's a handy option. What else can I tell you about it? So I've only got one battery, and that plug socket thing, that fits into the top of the ear. So you plug it into the ear, plug it into the wall, switch it on, and then that'll charge this up. I'm not sure how long it actually lasts charger, but I've had it, I think I charged it on Friday night, and we've not had to charge it yet. And these are battery things. It will tell you how much battery you've got on. Picture of a battery, and then it obviously, more used, more marker moves down. I paid 1,338 quid. No, 35 quid. Because it was reduced by 3 quid. I know, for some reason, sale, 3 quid off. When I looked on Google, all different ones, you can get them from anywhere from around about that price, 1,300, 1,800. I've seen some at 2,000 and odd, depending on probably how new they are. But you can get the FlIR E8, and I think they were being advertised around about 2,800, but they will come down in price if they fetch another one out. But for what I use it for, what a great machine for showing, customers. Take click your thing, and you can have different coloured palettes on it. So this one is called, let me get palettes on, colour. So you click on colour, and then you get these different palettes on them. And then to scroll, sort of rim of this button, you can go left, right, up or down. So palette that I've got it on there is called Iron, and it's got like a, I don't know, you could call it a rusty colour. Your next one is Rainbow. Rainbow palette. I don't know whether, if you showed a customer it, whether Iron palette or Rainbow palette would probably be more effective. Maybe Rainbow, because that's obviously got loads of colours, but if there is a cold spot, it will show up in blue. Your next one is grey. I suppose that has its uses. So, if you've got like I don't know. So, if you've got something warm, it probably shows up later. There's no colour in that. Then your next one is below alarm. So this is what I was saying before. So you set your temperature. Could set it to 5 degrees. And then you'd go, anything below that, it'll show up in blue. If you set it to red one, above alarm, then anything above 5 degrees will show up in red. So that could be a handy thing. So I'm trying to think what it's set at. It's set at 35.5. I think. I'm looking at it now. And radiator's showing up. So it's like more or less black and white. And camera's showing up red. Radiator's showing up red. And computer screen over there is showing up red. And the Rode mic is showing up red. So they're hottest things. What a good little tool. So I've just put it on blue one, and that's showing up white. Everything's blue, that's showing up white. Radiator's showing up white, and computer screen's showing up white. So you could have different scenarios. That could be a good tool for showing you know, find out where cold spots are and showing customer, and probably would, you know, be a tipping point to you actually getting your work, or securing that job, or securing that contract. So there you go. There's a lot more that you can do, but as far as being a damp surveyor and doing condensation surveys, that's kind of what I need, just what I need. Now, they fetch these out to be able to fault find on engines and things like that. But one of the things that the FlIR 1 struggled to do, because it was blurry and, you know what I mean, and it was quite basic, is leak detection. I could put it on FlIR and it would show like a blue area if there were a leak. But if I put this on FlIR and we're looking through FlIR, and there were a leak, or a solid FlIR and there were a leak, it'd show pipe, and you'd be able to see, you know, warmer areas and then a cold area. So it'd be good for leak detection as well. I know that there's more specialist equipment that's just fetched out for that kind of thing, but as a basic tool, so you can comment on it if you're getting issues where you think that there's a leak, and even outside as well, you know, going around. I've seen a couple of videos, other damp surveyors who specifically do, you know, leaks on drains and things like that, and they do drain surveys, that they use something similar to this, probably a bit more. I mean, there's one of these that's like $8,000. It just looks like this, and it's $8,000. It must be all singing, all dancing. So I don't know what it does for $8,000, but that's a bit rich for me. Do you know what I mean? I mean, my surveys, I had to put my price up for my surveys for me to be buying some kit like that. I mean, that's nearly as much as a small van, isn't it? $8,000, chuffing hell. So yeah, so this is the FlIR thermal imaging camera, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I just need to get onto these who sold me it, and see whether they're going to honour sending out the bits what's missing, or I'm going to do a video. Well, I'm going to do a video after this, and we'll see. I'll send this one out now, but next video is going to be all about this company and story of me buying it, just so other people don't make that same mistake, and we'll see what they say. So it's either going to be a video where I'm saying their customer service were brilliant and they honoured it, they sourced these bits and bobs and sent them up, or it's going to be one saying they ignored it. This is what you need to be looking out for in future from this company. Okay, so I'm not going to name them in this video. I'm going to give him a bit more time. So that's Damp Sam. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got a bit of value from this. If you have, please subscribe and share, and give us a like, because if you do that, that means it gets sent out to more people who might want to see a video on this and damp stuff, and they might have damp stuff in their house, and it might help them. So there you go. That's Damp Sam signing off with his new FlIR camera. Bye-bye now.